I don't know if you're familiar with the movie Silence of the Lambs, but in that movie...
Please say that again, familiar?
The movie Silence of the Lambs. In
Yes.
that movie, there's a psychotic but brilliant guy named Hannibal
Yes.
Lecter who questions Clarice, who's trying to analyze him. Are you uncomfortable with the fact that maybe I'm just evil without sense or reason? So along with that, is man inherently born evil with the need for Christ to make that man good? Or are we born inherently good with sin and evil just damaging our inherent goodness?
Great question. It is interesting, again, I think the Judeo-Christian worldview, again, stands very distinctively here. Remember, for example, the teaching of Gautama Buddha is that all suffering is a result of desire. He doesn't call it sin, he calls it desire. So if you eliminate desire, you'll eliminate suffering. And I remember talking to a group of Buddhist scholars once when I wrote my book, The Lotus and the Cross, Jesus Talks to Buddha. And I was doing an interview with them in Thailand and Malaysia and all of that. And I asked them if indeed the desire is the source of all suffering. And if you eliminate desire, then suffering itself is eliminated. I said, can you explain to me why the Dalai Lama desires the liberation of Tibet? If he has reached that plateau of being the perfect human being, as it were, why does he still desire the liberation of Tibet? There was silence in the room. And one of them said, because he chooses to. And we had a fascinating discussion at the end of that. Is he choosing to be less than what he knows to be right as the perfect human being? And the more we talked, it became inescapable to discuss the issue that humanity's will is fallen. Our desires are to serve ourselves. When Christ comes into your life, he doesn't tell you to stop desiring. This is the only faith in the world that talks about a supernatural regeneration. It's a new birth, so that he changes your hungers and he changes what you want. He doesn't tell you to stop hungering. He said, blessed are those that hunger and thirst after righteousness. Fallen humanity does not mean that we cannot do anything good. It ultimately demonstrates that what separates us from God is not goodness or badness. What separates us from God is spiritual deadness. Jesus didn't come into the world to make bad people good. He came into the world to make dead people live. And you and I are spiritually dead, separated. And when he comes and changes you, there are many people who are atheists who live very good lives, who may do many good things. But the issue then is that goodness then the badge of honor to merit some kind of accolade? And Christ says, no, we are all lost. And ultimately, and that's why, by the way, Mahatma Gandhi said this. He said the most enigmatic thing about any religion is in the Christian faith. It's the cross. There's nothing like it. Martin Luther King Jr. so often spoke of the cross as that which kept motivating and driving him. Why the cross? Because of your condition and mine. The problem is that our morality will not change us. We are spiritually separated. So the Bible says we are born separated from God. And that separation can only be bridged by God himself.